Welcome to Valuable Chillar, where we dive into the stories behind some of the most fascinating and valuable coins ever struck. First up is the 1909 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark, auctioned for over $800,000. This coin immediately draws attention because it represents the very first year of the Lincoln cent, designed by Victor David Brenner to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. On the obverse, Lincoln's profile is crisp and iconic, while the reverse features the classic wheat ears framing 1 cent and United States of America, symbolizing the nation's agricultural heritage. What makes this particular 1909 penny extraordinary is a rare minting error, 2 distinct dots on the obverse, a feature almost never seen on standard strikes. These dots, likely caused by die imperfections or debris during striking, elevate the coin's rarity enormously. Historically, 1909 was a pivotal year for U.S. coinage, being the first time a real person, let alone a president, was featured on a circulating American penny. The coin we're discussing today is in circulated condition, meaning it passed through many hands over the past century, yet retains its key details and, importantly, the 2 dots that make it so valuable. Collectors treasure it not just as a coin, but as a piece of numismatic history with an unmistakable error. If you ever find a 1909 Lincoln cent, check it carefully for unusual markings, because even in worn condition, rare errors can mean life-changing value. Next, we have the 1944 Denver Wheat Penny, another fascinating story of history and rarity. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny from the Denver Mint, valued at over $350,000, is a remarkable coin forged in the midst of World War II. Its design retains Brenner's dignified Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the wheat ears reverse, but its composition reflects the war effort. In 1943, pennies were made of zinc-coated steel to save copper for military needs. By 1944, the mint returned to copper, but used resi, clad shell casings from military ammunition, a vivid reminder of the times. The small D mint mark under the date signifies Denver, one of the main mints supplying coins during wartime. Collectors especially prize the 1944 D penny for potential varieties such as doubled dies or repunched mint marks, which can send values soaring. Despite being circulated, this coin holds exceptional value because surviving examples with clear mint marks and minimal damage are rare. Historically, this penny represents a transition back to peacetime production and reflects the resilience of the American economy. For collectors, it's a tangible link to World War II and an example of how historical context adds depth to numismatic treasures. If you're building a Lincoln cent collection, coins like the 1944 D show why paying attention to mint marks and composition changes can uncover real gems. Next, we have the 1938 Lincoln Wheat Penny from Philadelphia, a pre-World War II classic. The 1938 Lincoln Wheat Penny from the Philadelphia Mint, valued at over $450,000, is a striking reminder of America's pre-war era. This coin features the familiar Lincoln portrait on the obverse and the wheat ears reverse, yet its appeal lies in its scarcity despite a relatively high mintage. Struck at the nation's oldest mint with no mint mark, the 1938 penny entered circulation at a time when the country was recovering from the Great Depression and preparing for global conflict. Many of these coins were heavily used, making fine condition survivors hard to find today. This particular example is graded as fine, meaning its major details, Lincoln's face, the date, and the wheat ears, remain visible, though softened by circulation. Collectors value it not only for its rarity, but for its place in U.S. history. A penny from the late 1930s holds the story of an economy on the mend and a society on the cusp of change. For those collecting Lincoln cents, finding a 1938 Philadelphia penny in fine or better condition is a significant accomplishment. It demonstrates how even coins once common can become scarce and highly sought after over time. Next, we have the 1956 Denver Wheat Penny, a post-war issue with a surprising twist. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat Penny from the Denver Mint, commanding over $130,000 even in bad and rusty condition, shows how rarity and historical context can outweigh appearance. As one of the final years of the Wheat Penny series before the design changed in 1959, the 1956 D cent carries both nostalgia and numismatic interest. The obverse retains Brenner's enduring portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse still features the wheat ears motif. This particular coin is remarkable because, despite being rusty and worn, it remains highly valued due to its scarcity and the possibility of error varieties such as die cracks or minor doubling. Historically, 1956 was part of a booming post-war America with expanding coin production, yet few examples of this issue have survived in collectible condition with their Denver mint marks intact. Collectors see coins like this as opportunities to own a piece of mid-century Americana, a penny that once circulated in diners, gas stations, and homes across a thriving nation. Its condition tells a story of time and circulation, which some enthusiasts find appealing as a marker of authenticity. For collectors, this coin proves that condition isn't always everything. Rarity, mint mark, and historical significance can push values far higher than expected. Next, we have the 1952 Denver Wheat Penny, a coin whose unusual appearance adds to its allure. Finally, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny from the Denver Mint, valued at over $140,000, is a coin whose dirty or black-shaded condition makes it distinctive. Featuring the classic Lincoln portrait and wheat ears reverse, this penny belongs to the later years of the series when production numbers were high, but surviving collectible examples became scarce. Minted at Denver, as shown by the D under the date, this coin gained a unique patina over decades of circulation. That dark shading and wear tell a story of time, environment, and human handling, which some collectors value as proof of authenticity and character. Historically, 1952 was a period of post-war growth in the U.S., and pennies like this were part of everyday commerce in a thriving economy. Yet today, finding one with its mint mark and details still visible despite heavy use is rare. Collectors prize such coins not only for their numismatic value, but for the glimpse they offer into mid-century life. This penny demonstrates how coins don't have to be pristine to be valuable. Uniqueness, provenance, and rarity often drive prices as much as, or more than, condition. For collectors, the lesson here is to look beyond surface appearance. Sometimes the most interesting finds are the ones with a story etched in every mark.